And I am here with Deputy Catherine Callaghan, Fine Gael's Deputy TD for Carlow Kilkenny. Deputy Catherine Callaghan, thank you so much for joining the Irish Political Roundup right before you go into an event.
I know, well, it's always a pleasure to speak to the Irish Political Roundup. It's one of my favourite, actually, my most favourite podcast.
Oh, we're delighted to hear that. That's a big scoop. Deputy Catherine Callaghan, you have been so busy since we last spoke to you off at Dáil Éireann a couple of weeks ago. You've been host to many ministers and ministers from government.
I had indeed, yeah. I had a very interesting meeting with Minister Hildegard Naughton, who is the Minister for Disability, with special responsibility for disability, and Minister Michael Moynihan as well. I was almost going to call him Micheál, but Minister Michael Moynihan as well. And he's the Minister for Special Education. So they're two causes that are very, very close to my heart. And then, of course, I suppose then very recently, just last Thursday, I had on Teachta, Simon Harris, he came down to visit Holy Angels in Carlow and St. Leo's College in Carlow also, and then here to Kilkenny to Stephen's Barracks, which was just an absolute super day. It was brilliant. It was like a trip down memory lane for myself, even though I never served in Stephen's Barracks. But one of my good colleagues that I did serve with was in there, so I was delighted to meet him as well then.
Well, Deputy Catherine Callaghan, it's really good to say that you are a former Defence Force member and you served for Ireland and now you're representing the people of Carlow Kilkenny. And you're the first woman to represent Fine Gael as a deputy and to be elected to the Dáil as a deputy. You're the first SNA lady with a background in SNA and SNA Assistant. I wonder, would you be, now I stand to be corrected here, would you be the first former member of the Defence Forces in Carlow Kilkenny to be elected as a deputy in Dáil Éireann?
I could stand to be corrected in that as well, Roisin, but I think that could be correct, because I'm even thinking now about the 34th Dáil. I am the only former member of the Defence Forces that is a member of the 34th Dáil. There's a couple of Oireachtas members who are former senators who are former Defence Forces, but I'm the only deputy, the only TD in the Oireachtas at the moment that has served in the Defence Forces. And certainly I would definitely say that I'm the only former Air Corps person to be elected. I wonder if I'm the only Air Corps person ever to be elected to the Dáil. I'm going to have to find that out now. I might ask the General Officer Commanding of the Air Corps about that. He might be able to find out and help me in that. Yeah, so it's all progress. It's all new, I suppose, turning over new pages, and it's great to be able to bring that level of experience to the Dáil, particularly as well, Roisin. I think there's going to be a lot of focus on security, quite rightly, on security and defence in this term of government, and I think personally I am in a good position. I still talk very regularly to my former comrades in the Defence Forces, many of whom are still serving. So even in terms of this amendment, the proposed amendment to the triple lock, I know for certain that the majority, actually all of the serving members that I've spoken to, are absolutely in favour of the proposed amendment to the triple. I think it's really important that with my background in the Defence Forces, particularly when there's going to be an awful lot of, quite rightly, focus on security and defence in this government, I should say, in this term. I'd love, if I know the committees haven't been formed yet, but I would really love to find myself on the Defence Committee in this term. That's where all of the laws and policies are going to be made. I would love to see more spending on defence. I mean, I know at the moment the Taoiseach has said that he'd like to double the defence spending. I'd like to see it go a little bit further. We could easily spend, I'd love to see 3 billion going to the defence budget, to be honest. There are so many worthy causes within our defence and security, and I think that that's the way to go. We need to support the men and women of our Defence Forces of Oireachtas here, and we need to give them the pay and conditions that they rightly deserve, and we also need to give them the proper equipment to make sure that they are safe and secure when they're going overseas and representing our country. And when they're at home here as well, I mean, they do a tremendous job.
They certainly do. And definitely, Catherine Callaghan, I see your husband there and everybody looking at the door, looking to get you into the Mayor's banquet. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak once again to the Irish Political Roundup.
Always a pleasure. Very meal and
Go, Mina Maher.